everyone. Welcome to this fabulous Monday. And here is your flip notebook activity for the week. As you can see, I have my notebook already opened to my table of contents. I'm going to go ahead and add my page number 9. Remember, your page might be different. You might be on a different page, and if so, that's okay. Today, we are going to be talking about plot. Okay, so we're going to be talking about what a plot is and the different elements of a plot. And this is part of Unit 2, Part 1. So you can go ahead and write that down. And whenever you're ready, you can head on over to your notebook page. So we've already glued our notebook page down. And we glued it down so that it was going sideways, if you remember. And so now what I'm going to do is, even though it's sideways, I'm going to turn it this way. And I want to mention something to everybody really quickly, is writing neatly in your notebook. This is very important because if you just write stuff down super fast and you can't read your writing, or you bring it into class to me and I can't read your writing, that's a problem. Because how can you look back at your notes to help yourself remember what you wrote down if you can't even read what you wrote down? So when I look at your notebook, if I can't read what you wrote, I'm going to rip out the page and I'm going to ask you to do it again. Because at this point, you should be able to copy things nice and neatly in your notebook. It's not just about how fast you can do your notebook. It's all about taking nice, neat notes so that you can go back and use those notes to study. Okay? So just a reminder, nice, neat notes. And let's get started. I'm not going to put plot on there because I already have plot right here. I am going to put a title though. And I'm going to move my title up a little closer because I want to use these lines with my notes. So over here, I'm on page 9. So this is part of Unit 2, Part 1. And today's date for me is the 8th. Or no, it's not the 8th, it's the 10th. You might have a different date in your notebook, and if so, that's okay. All right, what I want to do first is I want to define what exactly a plot is. And that's what I'm going to do on these lines. So first I'm going to write plot. And a plot are the events in a story. So we have been doing a lot of sequence writing and looking at the events or the things that happen in a story. Well, those things that happen in a story are all part of the plot. And the plot is like a roller coaster, which is why there is a roller coaster here on your picture to kind of help you remember. Okay. So with a plot, we have a beginning, a middle, and an end. What happens in the beginning is obviously, as we know, what happens at the start of a story. So what happens at the start? Now, a couple of significant things happen here, okay? There are several things that happen during the beginning. One of the things that happens is, get a little closer so you can read it a little better. You learn about the main characters. Oh, ran out of room. Characters. Okay. Also, what happens at this point in the story is you learn about the problem. Okay, so you learn the problem. So we have our beginning of our story, and this is what happens at the start of the story. Obviously, it's the beginning. And this is where you learn about the main characters. And this is also where you learn about the problem in your story. Okay. Next, we have the middle. Okay, well, in the middle of your story, you learn more about the characters. Learn more about the characters. So this is where you kind of learn who's the good character, who's the bad character. Sometimes you're introduced to new characters. This is where also you're going to start seeing how the character has to fix the problem. So in the middle, you're going to learn how to fix the problem. How is this character going to fix the problem that's happening in the story? Hey, are they going to defeat the bad guy? Are they going to trick the bad guy? Are they going to fight the bad guy? Are they going to learn some kind of lesson? And then finally, at the end, this is where our story closes. So the problem is solved. Okay. And this also brings our movie to some kind, or our story to some kind of closing. So it brings the story to a close. Now, we all know those stories and we've all seen those movies and we've all read those books where it comes to a closing, but the closing kind of leaves you asking a question, right? And sometimes if we watch a movie or read a book where the author wants to kind of make you want to read more or make you want to watch the next movie, then they'll close the movie, but they kind of leave you questioning, so that way you want more. And then sometimes that's just where the story ends. So it depends on what kind of book or movie that you're watching to see how exactly the movie is brought to a closing. So this diagram is something that we're going to be using over the next few weeks to kind of organize our thoughts about the beginning, the middle, and the end of a story. So you're going to see this diagram more often throughout the next couple of weeks. And you're just going to get used to kind of discovering what the beginning, middle, and end of our story is. Thank you so much for following along. Go ahead, jump over to Google and finish your questions, and I will see you all in class. Bye. Get me out of here.